Hey guys, so this year I'm going to be reviewing Arrow 107 titled Muse of Fire. If you guys enjoy the review, hit the like button down below, subscribe for new, notifications on. Let's get right into the video. So, it opened up with Oliver driving his bike throughout the city, and he got a call from Thea saying that he was late to lunch with Moira. So he drives over there and he gets to where Moira's at. She's talking to some guy that we get introduced later on, and a person on a bike shows up and shoots in the direction of Moira, killing the guy that Moira's talking to. And Moira wasn't severely injured. I think she got a little bit hurt, but it wasn't severe or anything. So Oliver leaves Moira in the street, or not specifically in the street, but on the sidewalk, and that where the shots happened, and goes after the person on the bike. And he was running through an alley, grabbed the pipe, slashed a back tire of the bike, but a semi-truck, came in and blocked him, and the bike got away. It goes to them at the hospital. They tried reaching Walter, but they couldn't reach him. They need to keep an eye on Moira for a while. Oliver told Moira that he was trying to get a license plate, which is why he left her. But Moira said that was foolish of him to do and all that. But Moira and Oliver hugged and moved on from that. Oliver left the room. Thea doesn't believe that Oliver was trying to do the actual right thing and get a plate. She doesn't know what's true anymore with him because she doesn't trust him entirely. Quinn and Frank at the hospital as well to see Moira, and Oliver tells Quinn that he wants cops around Moira, for the time being to keep her safe. But then we learned that Moira wasn't the target. The guy she was with was. Then it goes to Tommy and Laurel, with him bringing food to Laurel to have dinner with. Tommy asks Laurel to go on a date, and then it goes to Oliver training the bunker. Dig checks up on Oliver because he doesn't think he's doing well. The guy that was targeted, his name was Paul Capani. He works for Berlanti Construction. Bertinelli, I'm an idiot. Berlanti is the guy who's making all these shows. I'm gonna lose it. Berlanti, nope. Bertinelli, I don't know why I can't remember. Bertinelli and Frank Bertinelli, who's the mob boss, was targeting Paul Capani. He's not the first member of the Bertinellis to be hit. So Dig's trying to get Oliver to handle it emotionally. He doesn't want to. Oliver said he's going to murder the person who shot at Moira and Paul Capani, mainly because it was at Moira. The shooter has a board and takes off the helmet, and we learn that's a she, and we learn out who it is later. But the board has the people that she's targeting and all that. Thea's going clubbing. Oliver said he would take the night shift, but he had quote-unquote plans, so Thea had to take over. Tommy came in to check up on Moira and Oliver, and they tell him that he and Laura are going to start dating. And Oliver jokes, quote-unquote jokes, that if he hurts Laurel, he will snap his neck. So, which with this Oliver, who the hell knows? Oliver goes as himself to meet with Frank Bertinelli, and Oliver sees the shooter on top of the stairs. He doesn't know she's a shooter, but she's part of this family. Thea and Moira are talking. Moira doesn't want Thea to hate Oliver or talk crap about him, but Moira says that they tend to keep things to themselves. Everyone has secrets and they deal with them their own way. Frank Bertinelli wants a contract to build a new applied sciences division for Queen Consolidated, which Oliver's willing to give him, even though Moira isn't. Frank's daughter, Helena, was a shooter, and Frank said that Paul, the guy that was shot and died, was a good man and that he will be missed by him. Which, if you killed someone, you wouldn't generally say that. So, ruling the Bertinellis out of the shooting is obviously out of the picture. It wasn't someone in that organization, at least not right there, but it was Helena, his daughter. Whether or not they know that right now, which they don't. Frank wants Helena to take Oliver to dinner and to keep the deal going. Oliver didn't want to go to dinner with her, but he ended up going anyways with her. The leader of the triad, China White, has been called by the Bertinellis, which is why Frank had to leave that meeting with Oliver, and they think the triad has something to do with it, and they threaten the triad, which is another whole mob boss that if they believe that the triad is involved and they go to war with, the city is going to be a hellhole. Quentin ended up putting a bug on Frank Bertinelli, and he put together that this killer is the pro concerning the killer missed most of their shots. Like, she just came in and just shot all the bullets in that gun off just to hit that one target. So she's obviously not a pro at it. Oliver and Helena have dinner. Helena asks Oliver if there was a day where he felt free and away from everything. He said there were more than one and he missed those days. Goes to Tommy and Laurel having dinner together on that date. Tommy's credit card has been declined. The company wants the card confiscated and all his accounts are done as of right now. Helena has a necklace cross. The cross is a necklace with a cross on it. And she said it was from her fiance who died when she was talking to Oliver. Dig ended up calling Oliver in the middle of that dinner and told him he had to get out of there because, there's something going on. Helena warns Oliver to be careful around Frank. And then we go to Malcolm coming to see Moira because they were good friends in that, so he just wants to check up on her. And also make sure that Moira's still on his side because when life threatens you, you tend to second guess things. So he wanted to make sure, and he mentioned that Robert feared the future Malcolm sees and that Moira doesn't, which is why she's working with them. Whether or not that led to Robert's death, if this whole thing was planned, where, the gambit would go down, Robert would die, everything falls into place for Malcolm, just because Robert didn't see the future that he wanted him to see. But nonetheless, goes to Oliver in an alley, and the next hit is at Russo's, which is at the dinner place that he and Helena were just having dinner at. Mr. Russo, who makes payments to the Bertinellis, didn't pay up, so they're trying to force him to. Oliver, which is as a vigilante, try to stop that. Then the killer shows up, the shooter, aka Helena, with the helmet on, comes in, and Oliver and Helena start fighting. He takes off the helmet, sees it's Helena, he's caught off guard, she gets away. Then Oliver talks to Dig about it. Oliver said he knows what he's doing, but Dig can tell he is lying. There's security footage of Russo's, of the vigilante and the killer fighting. But they see that Oliver and Helena were having dinner together, and Quinn's suspicious of that. Not really connecting to Oliver's vigilante, but just that Oliver's having dinner with Helena. He's worried that he doesn't know what he's getting himself into. So that leads to Quentin going to see Oliver at the mansion and tells him to stay away from Helena because it can lead to a horrible end. And he did that because he felt like he owed him one for putting him in a position where he nearly lost his life in the last episode. Or 2 episodes ago, whatever it was. When he got arrested, he was under house arrest and that shooter came in to shoot him. Shooter came in to shoot him. I think we clarified that up. Then we go to Tommy and Malcolm, his father, Malcolm Merlin, Tommy Merlin. Tommy's accounts were all frozen, and Malcolm says Tommy's a joke and all this stuff. Tommy's trust fund was full of Malcolm's money, which he wanted back, so he took it back. Goes to a church. Helena is there at the grave of her fiance. Oliver comes to see her, and Oliver's trying to get Helena to confess on some level that she did do this, that she, killed a few people and all that. Helena tells Oliver to stay away from her. Oliver doesn't really want to. So then Frank's right-hand man, who's been doing things behind Frank's back on some level, comes after Helena and Oliver, which he couldn't do anything because they kind of blow his identity a little bit. so the guys took Oliver and Helena to a warehouse, tied them up. Helena is trying to break from the zip ties alongside Oliver. Frank's right-hand man knows Helena is the one that's been going after them, which is why he took her. He was gathering, apparently Helena's fiance, was gathering evidence against Frank and the Bertinellis, which is why Frank had her fiance killed, to destroy Frank with the FBI's help, and they would have been sent to prison forever, but the evidence in the FBI was being taken and talked to by Helena. Helena was the one to set all this up, not her fiance. And Frank's right-hand man shot Helena's fiance. The person that Helena's been hunting is right there, and he just confessed to doing it, which is pretty stupid, but I guess he doesn't know that she has a vendetta. Oliver and Helena tend to break out of the zip ties, start fighting the guys, and then they kill the guys, because they can't reveal their secrets or let anyone else know. Quinn is worried Frank Bertinelli will blame the Triad for the murders and not the Vigilante, because again, that'll lead to an all-out war in the city. Tommy goes to Laurel, tells her Malcolm cut him out of everything. Walter comes home to check on Moira. Oliver sees that he came home. He said Walter came home because he missed Moira, and wanted to make sure she was okay. Thea apologizes to Oliver. Thea tells Oliver he should share his secrets with someone, so he goes to Helena, the person who shot at his mother. Helena knows Oliver is a vigilante. What Helena is doing is injustice, it's revenge, is what Oliver said. But Helena kind of said the same thing to Oliver, because he kind of is on some level. And Helena said they're exact same, and then they kissed, and yeah, that was the end of it. And end of the episode. It was a pretty good episode. I really liked that there was action scenes right in the beginning. I think that was really cool to have in the beginning episode. I wish we got more of that in, in the first 6 episodes, or 7, sorry. I recorded a lot of videos this week. I'm recording this Wednesday, August 3rd. You guys are seeing this August 8th. So I'm recording a lot of videos. So I'm just off on what I'm actually doing, apparently. But yeah, this is 107. So the past 7 episodes, it would have been nice to see more action scenes, like kickstart off the episode, like I think 102 did. I think, or 103. But I'm sure that'll change as it goes on. But I really do enjoy the first 7 episodes. I think overall, they're not the best, but they are good. There's nothing where I'm really like, oh, this part's bad or this thing's bad. The only thing I don't really care about, and it's nothing that really happened in the past 7 episodes, is the whole like Tommy and Laurel thing. I don't really care for that or that relationship. I mean, if they get together, I don't care. But, even if Oliver and Laurel were together, I really wouldn't care. Whether that's because I've seen the entire show and I prefer Oliver and Felicity to be together, I don't know. But, well, majority of the show at least, but because I haven't seen all season 1, But, yeah, I don't really care for that relationship. But there's nothing that, it's just because I don't care. It's nothing because the writing or, whatever, any of that. I really like the Helena story, where they're going with it. And the relationship with Oliver, too, I think is good. Seeing Diggle being concerned about Oliver during this entire time was really good to see, too. Thea kind of not trusting Oliver, which makes sense. Similar to Moira as well. But they understand why he's that way on some level. I mean, they don't know he's a vigilante, obviously. He has a whole nother life, but they know he's different from the one who came back. Which was mentioned earlier in the episode as well. So overall, there's nothing really wrong with the last 7 episodes. It's just there are parts that I don't care about. Like I said, the Tommy and Laurel relationship. But everything else, I don't have a problem with. I mean, there might be some iffy, like, okay, the writing could have been better here. But it's not too bad towards I'm like, oh, this is a Flash Season 7 situation where the writing's just lazy, or Simone Lowe situation where the writing's lazy. Like, no, like, the writing's pretty good overall. The scenes are very good, the action's very good when we do get fight scenes. You know, I think it's very good. As of right now, I don't know if I will have an Arrow review out later in the week, as in Thursday, August 11th, would be my next review for that week. If not, it will be out August 15th, which will be 108. If I don't do one Thursday, if I do, then the August 15th review will be 109. As of right now, we are on track to be done with season 1 by literally November 28th, which is the last week of November, the last Monday of November. We should be done with season 1 definitely by then. If not on that date, because I am pre-recording these like a week's worth ahead, roughly, and I'm going to get in the habit of doing that, just so I can stick ahead and all that. But when Stargirl comes back in October, which for whatever reason I'm thinking next month is October, you know, the reviews will go down to just 1 day a week instead of 2. But I'm going to try to get reviews out Mondays and Thursdays of those Stargirl, which honestly would probably leave us with the beginning of November, end of October, with season 1 being wrapped up. If we do get to the point where we have like 2 months of where we have free time between then and Christmas, the week of Christmas, I think even the week before I'm going to be taking like those 2 weeks off. I'll have videos out for you guys, obviously, but that is the plan. So yeah, don't know how else that would really entirely work, but that's what we're going with. So definitely by the end of November, season 1 will be wrapped up with the reviews, and then we'll go into season 2, and we'll keep on going until we're done with the show, no matter how long it takes. So yeah, thank you for the support. I really do appreciate it. Have a good day. Have a good night. Stay safe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye, guys.